kids, where are you? It's time for all the art to tell stories.
Chapter 1. A Colorful Forest. In a land far away, nestled between towering mountains and wide open plains, there was a magical place called Rainbow Forest. The forest was named for its vibrant, multicolored trees, which shimmered with every hue imaginable. The leaves of the trees were not just green, but red, blue, orange, purple, and even pink. Every time the sun rose, its rays would cascade through the trees, creating a magnificent spectacle of dancing colors. The forest was not only known for its beauty, but also for its unique inhabitants. The animals who lived there were just as colorful as the trees themselves. Each animal in Rainbow Forest had a distinct color. There were blue birds, yellow squirrels, green frogs, purple rabbits, and orange foxes. Every creature carried its color proudly, and it was their distinctiveness that made the forest such a magical place. Yet, for all its beauty, Rainbow Forest had one big problem. The animals did not always get along. Many of them believed that their color was the best, and they often spent their days arguing over whose hue was more beautiful or important. The bluebirds would sing, "Our color is the color of the sky. We are the most important because without the sky, there would be no life." The green frogs would croak, "But we are the color of the trees and the grass. Without us, the forest wouldn't even exist." The purple rabbits would hop around and say, "Our color is the rarest and therefore the most special." All the animals were proud of their colors, but this pride often turned into competition, and instead of appreciating one another's uniqueness, they began to see their differences as reasons to stay apart. Chapter 2. A New Arrival. One bright and sunny morning, a new animal arrived in Rainbow Forest. Her name was Aurora, and she was a small deer with fur that shimmered with all the colors of the rainbow. As Aurora walked through the forest, her coat seemed to change color with every step, reflecting the beautiful surroundings. Sometimes her fur glowed with a soft red, then it would shift to a gentle blue, and in the blink of an eye, it would be yellow or green. The animals of the forest had never seen anything like her before. When the bluebirds spotted her, they flew down to investigate. "Look at her! She's blue like us!" they chirped excitedly. But when the purple rabbits saw her, they hopped over. "No, she's purple like us," they said. The green frogs joined in, croaking, "She's green like us. Clearly she belongs with us." Aurora, who had been quietly admiring the beauty of the forest, was taken aback by all the attention. She looked at the birds, the rabbits, and the frogs, and realized that each group saw only a part of her, the part that reflected their own color. "Hello," she said gently. "I'm Aurora, and I come from a faraway land. My fur changes color with the light, reflecting all the beauty around me. I don't belong to just one color. I am a part of every color." The animals were puzzled. "How can you be part of every color?" asked one of the foxes, whose orange fur gleamed in the sunlight. "That doesn't make sense." Aurora smiled. "It's true. I carry all the colors of the forest within me. Every color has its own beauty, and together they make something even more magical. Chapter 3. Division among the colors as. Aurora continued to walk through the forest. The animals began to argue even more. Each group believed that Aurora should stay with them because they thought their color was the most important. The birds wanted her to live in the treetops with them. The frogs wanted her to join them by the pond. And the rabbits wanted her to hop through the fields at their side. Aurora, sensing the tension, tried to explain. "Why should we divide ourselves by color?" she asked. "Each of you brings something special to the forest. And it is your differences that make this place so beautiful. Just like the rainbow in the sky is made of many colors, the forest is beautiful because all of you are different." But the animals were too busy arguing to listen. Soon, the once harmonious forest began to feel divided. The bluebirds stayed in the highest trees and wouldn't fly down to visit the other animals. The green frogs stayed by their pond, refusing to leave their watery home. The purple rabbits dug burrows far away from everyone else, and the orange foxes began hunting alone, avoiding the company of others. The forest, which had once been filled with the sounds of laughter and song, was now quiet and tense. Aurora watched with sadness as the animals pulled further apart, each group staying within their own color, afraid to mix with others. She knew that the animals were missing something important, and she was determined to help them see the beauty of unity. Chapter 4. The Rainstorm. One afternoon, a fierce storm swept across Rainbow Forest. Dark clouds gathered in the sky, and the wind howled through the trees. Rain began to pour down in sheets, and soon the forest floor was flooded with water. The animals, who had been separated for so long, suddenly found themselves in danger. The bluebirds' nests were being blown out of the trees. The green frog's pond was overflowing, and the purple rabbit's burrows were filling with water. Aurora knew this was her chance to bring the animals back together. She raced through the forest, her rainbow-colored fur flashing in the rain. "Everyone, come to the center of the forest," she called out. "We need to work together to stay safe." At first, the animals hesitated. They were so used to staying apart that they didn't know if they could trust each other. But as the storm grew stronger, they realized they had no choice. One by one, the bluebirds, the green frogs, the purple rabbits, and the orange foxes made their way to the center of the forest, where a giant tree stood tall and strong. Aurora guided them to shelter under the tree's broad branches, which provided protection from the wind and rain. The animals huddled together, their fear of the storm greater than their differences. As they waited for the storm to pass, they began to talk to each other for the first time in weeks. "I'm glad we're all here together," said a bluebird, her feathers soaked from the rain. "I didn't realize how lonely it was up in the trees without anyone else." The green frogs nodded. "We were so busy staying in our pond that we forgot how nice it is to spend time with others." The purple rabbits, shivering from the cold, agreed. "We were wrong to think that only our color mattered. It's clear now that we need each other." Chapter 5. A New Understanding. As the storm passed and the sun began to shine again, a magnificent rainbow appeared in the sky.